which we clearly don't have. We are currently right at the number of drivers that we have routes. If there are call-ins, like we have some today, then we are short drivers. So adding approximate 125 routes would be impossible under our current circumstances. So we've really had to think outside of the box, think about how we can get our early childhood students in as quickly as possible, transport as many as we possibly can, and find other ways to support families as well. So first and foremost, it's important to note we will open up all early childhood locations on Monday, September 25th. So a week from Monday, we will begin our early childhood programs, but we are going to have some changes to the program and some transportation to meet those needs. The first week that we will have, that 25th, and you know the next week we are on fall break, so we wanted to get our students in prior to fall break. We will not have transportation for students that first week other than those who have special ed students with it noted, transportation noted on their IEP, which is their individual education plan, and they are provided with that transportation. All other students, it will be, there will be no transportation that week. We will begin transportation the following week, which begins on Monday, October 9th. Now, here's how we had to divide the day up. Regulations from the state say that special education students in early childhood must be given at least 2.5 hours of instructional time. So we are dividing up the day into early child instructional time and early childhood enrichment time. When we begin transportation, we will be transporting all of our special ed students, whether it's noted on their IEP or not. That transportation to support the instructional time will occur from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. All students will be, and all of our centers will be open for both enrichment time before and after that instructional time. So it will be open for the entire day. That transportation for our special ed students will be from 10:30 to 1:30. If anyone wants their child to take place in the full day, the early childhood enrichment, they can see the location time on our website for the hours. They will match the hours for the elementary school, and we are also have for our centers online as well. So for families who can provide transportation for their early childhood students in the morning and afternoon, we are working on a plan where we will provide a monthly monetary stipend to all families who will need that transportation. We're working on that plan now. I can't divulge the exact number that will be for families. That does take board approval. We will bring that to our board at our next board meeting, which is September 26th, I believe, a week from Tuesday, for approval. But for the remainder of the year, we will be providing that monthly monetary stipend for families who provide transportation to their students. Also want to note about half of our early childhood education students are students that are special education. So once again, those students will be provided transportation. Those hours again are 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. This will not impact our normal K through 12 routes. Also, an important part of that plan, this is similar to some other cities that have been doing this. Philadelphia is an example of it that does it actually K through 12. We decided to start with our early childhood to support our families as well. So we'll have more information on that monthly monetary stipend. Also, as a result of lost days over the past 4 weeks when early childhood should be in, we will be extending summer programming next summer. It is Ready for K program is what we call it. So we will be extending that by several weeks for families to make up for the time that was missed at the front end of this year. So families will have that additional time in the summertime to support their readiness for kindergarten. And so I will say this about our bus drivers. Once again, thank you very much for all of your hard work. We've got about 575 bus drivers right now who are working extremely hard. We also want to make sure these bus drivers will be providing these midday runs at 10:30 and 1:30. They are much shorter for early childhood because early childhood students go to the school closest to their home, and that's where they are assigned. But we did want to add some incentives for bus drivers to do this. So really what we took a look at was adding to what we call challenging routes. So currently we do give an increase in hourly pay for challenging routes. If someone has a challenging route, that's an additional $5 an hour for a bus driver. We are adding some other things to those. So really a challenging route now is just, it has been identified as a challenging route. We are adding early childhood runs, those 10:30 and 1:30 as these challenging routes. We are adding a route scheduled past 6 p.m. and what we are calling an open route driver or an ORD who picks up any route that is available. So now, if a bus driver has one challenging route, they will get an additional $5 an hour. If they have two of those that qualify, it would be $7.50 additional an hour. And if they have three, it would be $10 an hour. So if they drive a challenging route, they pick up an early childhood route, and they have a route that's past 6 p.m., those drivers would make an additional $10 an hour. I do want to say this for our bus drivers, and thank you for the Teamsters and John Stovall in working with us on this. And for anyone out there who wants to drive, this is an important note. With these additional benefits for our bus drivers, if a bus driver works and has three challenging routes, they'll make $37.75 an hour. $37.75. That would be an average, a step 4 person, so someone who has about 4 years of experience. But that's $37.75 an hour. Then they get paid additional for the overtime. For doing the early childhood routes, it would be overtime. So for those 15 hours a week, if they took morning and afternoon, they would be making $56.62 an hour. So combined for that bus driver, if they did that, would make $2,359 per week. So clearly we are putting, our financial backing behind our bus drivers to do this. This is the way that we have to do it. I would encourage anyone out there who wants to become a bus driver. We offer classes ongoing, and we pay while you're getting your CDL. We train to get the CDL. Once again, we have 575 bus drivers. We need about 100 more in order to meet all of the needs of our current transportation system. So I know that's a lot. It's been a big project for us to work on, but we're excited to get our early childhood kids back in class a week from Monday, and our families, I know, are excited to do the same as well. Happy to take any questions that you have.
Can you just elaborate? What have early childhood educators been doing in the meantime? We know some trainings, home visits, things like that, but was there enough of that to fill up the time that they were getting paid for while working?
I think you would see training. Obviously, you would see home visits. I think support of the elementary schools as well. I think we could say that that's going on in the elementary schools, support preparation for the year. But yeah, I mean, that's. I know they're chomping at the bit to get going to have kids come with them. So the preparation to get ready. And I would say this, probably in education, that's what we need to start thinking about, is paying our teachers to have more time to get ready for the school year. So I know they're prepared and ready to go, but that encompasses what they've been doing.
Does early childhood, do the kids affected include those who are in Head Start as well as state-funded public pre-K?
We don't have any Head Start with JCPS. So as you know, in 2018, JCPS no longer was with Head Start. So it's OVEC and one other organization, I believe, that has the Head Start dollars.
Are there any state funds in jeopardy for starting?
I do not believe we receive any state funds at all for early childhood. And correct me if I'm wrong, I believe. Kim, do you know that to be true? I think that we just recently got full day kindergarten funding from the legislature. So once Head Start, we no longer had Head Start. I don't believe that there's any state funding associated with.
It's state funding, but it has no federal funding, and it has no impact.
Okay, so there's no impact on that. I'll get you some specifics on that, Jess, on what the exactly what it is, the funding that we get for early childhood. But there's no jeopardy in that.
Just to clarify, so the early childhood transport would be from 10:30 to 1:30.
They'll arrive at 10:30 and leave at 1:30. Yes.
But if a parent wanted to bring their child for the full day, which is longer hours than that, I guess.
So just so I'm clear, the early childhood at school locations mirror the time of that elementary school. So there's a variety of times now. The early childhood times at our centers will be 9:40 to 4:20 p.m. And we're aligning all of our centers on that time, 9:40 to 4:20. So if a parent would like to take advantage of the full 9:40 to 4:20, they provide that transportation. We provide a stipend for them to do that.
Thank you.
When you got shorter instructional day, for those children who need to meet their IEP needs, such as they have 5 therapy sessions a month, will they still be able to do that?
Yes.
Can you just elaborate what the difference is between the enrichment and the instruction that we're gonna see?
Somebody want to take that one for me? We've got an expert that can talk about.
Go up, you have to go up. Oh.
Come on up. I'm sorry. I wish I could, but I'll let the experts do that.
And introduce yourself, Chris.
Yes, I'm Carlisa Gibson. I am the Director of Early Childhood Education. So we, of course, have been working, collaboratively to see what this enrichment program would be like, because we do want it to be something that the students, we want to make sure that we are, engaging those students at that time. So we have decided that the enrichment time would be music, art, also the STEM activities, along with gross motor, whole group, the literacy and math, and then, of course, most importantly, those social emotional skills. And then as far as the JCPS preschool program, we have that new core curriculum, the Pre-K on My Way, that we will be starting this year. And then also Second Step, which is part of the social emotional learning. And then we also will be doing whole group, small group, individual learning opportunities, and then also to just those developmentally appropriate activities.
How long you been on the job?
July the 1st.
So she didn't think she would be at a press conference this soon. So thank you for taking that answer.
Dr. Polio, 10:30 to 1:30, it seems like it could be a difficult schedule for some families to manage to be able to drop their kid off at the bus stop and then home. What would you say to families? A lot of these families are low income, who participate in this program, they may be working multiple jobs, already have complicated schedules. What would you say to those families who may struggle with that transportation schedule?
I mean, there's no doubt this is I want to say we acknowledge that's an inconvenience in many ways. That is why we wanted to make sure, first and foremost, it could be all, but nearly every student, I believe, in early childhood qualifies for free and reduced lunch. And so we can get that exact number for you, but I'm pretty sure it's nearly all. Free and reduced lunch is half? Okay, I thought, my apology, about half. And so that is why we entertained the stipend, because we knew we wanted to focus on equity, and we wanted to make sure families that had some of the bigger challenges would have the ability to use this stipend to assist them, whether that is to and from or having someone else do that for them. So clearly acknowledge it's an inconvenience and a problem, but that's what the stipend's for. There's just, unfortunately, in our current situation, there is no other way around us being able to provide any transportation whatsoever.
How much is that stipend?
We don't have an exact figure yet. We're working with that. We believe over the course of 9 months, we'll spend in the neighborhood of $1 million to support those families, depending upon how many take advantage of it. But we're looking anywhere between $5 and $7 a day, which would be around $100 a month. But that's what we're entertaining right now, but we'll have to present that to our board and they'll have to approve that.
And would that be for only families who are ECE, or is that for all?
That's for all early childhood families.
And parents have the option, they can drop them off in the morning, but they need to take the bus at that 1:30 time. They can kind of.
We're going to work with our families as much as we possibly can. The hard part is we can't have them coming and going, like sometimes transportation, sometimes not, because we have to build in stops. But we'll do everything we can to work with our families for success.
Is the district tracking how much instructional time is being lost K-12 at this point? I know you guys had some numbers last year.
Yeah, we're taking a look at that. I mean, clearly our number one obviously is getting them there and getting them home. I think we'll find, we have not done that collectively yet, but we'll find that it's significantly less than last year.
So you are tracking?
Yes.
Hourly instructional loss?
Yes. Yep.
Any other questions?
Thanks for coming, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Sorry.